It's time for Let's Get Real with your host from Bob Richards and Associates, Bob Richards.
Well, hello, Mr. Bob Richards.
Hello, good afternoon, Michael.
Are you doing as wonderful as I am?
Absolutely.
Let's check.
Well, not quite right. Not quite. I think you're still in the head.
Okay, I'm doing okay. Good to see you again. I know that you have got some really exciting stuff for us today. For example, I was watching TV the other day, and I saw this commercial where somebody was telling the TV viewers that they need to be careful because it's real easy for the assets in their real estate, even the title to their home, to be fraudulently stolen, acquired, and sold to somebody else. Is that a true scenario?
Michael, we live in a very interesting time of the world right now, and it's made so many things easy to be able to obtain, and unfortunately that comes with fraud. It's kind of like the internet. There's some great things about the internet. There's some horrible things about the internet. Same thing as it applies here for real estate, and so they have had quite an increase in this over the past number of months and last year or so, because they're seeing billions and billions of dollars worth of real estate being transferred from what they thought was the seller to a fraudulent seller, and somebody is coming in and buying it, not knowing that the buyer, if I'm saying that right, not knowing that the buyer is the one that's doing the fraudulent work.
Really? So it sounds kind of weird. You mean to tell me, I'm shocked, there are dishonest people in the world today, even here in Utah? Oh my gosh, what is this world coming to?
Seriously,
I am verklempt. I can't believe it. It just sounds kind of weird. I was just wondering if those ads are legit. I was watching it with my wife, and I saw this, and I go, really? How do you steal someone's property? She goes, well, you need to ask Bob about that.
There you go. You look at some of the attorney fine print and the loans for cars and all that little fine print that nobody reads because you can't even see it on the TV. Well, these companies kind of have that, but not really. But it kind of gives that same feel. They're legit. This is actually a company or companies that you may want to look into. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that with you today. And then we're also going to pick up on another one in our next podcast, kind of like a part B or number 2.
Oh, that's good. So how easy is it for a property owner to lose the interest in their property and not even know about it? You just wake up one day and it's like you get a notice. You don't live here anymore.
Yeah.
How does that work?
It is amazing because you would think that there's enough checks and balances there and notarized documents and signed in person and all that other good stuff that ensures that, hey, this is the actual seller, this is the actual buyer, and we have proof of all of that. And then it doesn't go down that way. So it is interesting how this has come and evolved, and how over the time that the recorder's offices, homeowners, others have been duped into something that they thought was real and obviously turned out to be not so. And there has been instances, Michael, where people have shown up and said, you know what, you don't own this place anymore. You got 24 hours to get out of here because you're trespassing now on my property. It's like, what do you think? What do you mean you're trespassing? This is my house. This is my... They hold a little document that says, no more, it's mine. And you're out of here. Now, can the homeowner do anything about that? No, not immediately. They're stuck. And so I want to talk a little bit about what says maybe some ideas that would help deter that, or maybe hopefully eliminate that for our viewers and those that are listening.
Wow. So before you do that, I have another question. Can this happen to any property, residential or commercial?
It can. So residential, commercial, industrial, retail, investment properties, fourplex, duplex, anything that is real estate related, Michael, is in jeopardy of this kind of transaction, if you will.
Wow. So do you have any good stories about this?
You knew where I was going.
I'm ready for a story about this.
All right, folks. Michael's asked the question about stories. Okay, let's get real. This happened to me this week. I had an instance where I had a referral come in to reach out to a certain party that was interested in selling a lot over in Hurricane. And in fact, she had 2 lots. Well, I looked up the property profile at the county tax office, and it says, yep, she owns those 2 lots. And we communicated back and forth by cell phone, by email, by phone call, and text. And I was like, hey, this is great. She was very complimentary. I shared all the services. Here's how much the fees are. Here's what we close with. And I'll put the sign up on this day and get the photos done, etc. And she was tickled pink. She just thought, well, I've never had this kind of service before. And I said, well, I'm looking forward to working with you. On the deed, it had her husband's name on there. And she says, unfortunately, my husband's passed, so it's just me. And I said, all right, let's get going. She signed the listing agreement. I get ready to put it on the MLS. The sign's up. And guess what? The tenant on this lot, it's an RV lot. The tenant on this lot, it's a travel trailer, calls me and says, I think you're selling the wrong lot. I said, no, it's lot number 90. And that's where I put up the sign. She says, yeah, I don't think you've got the right seller. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me here? She says, I'm supposed to sell lot number 90. She says, no, I don't believe so. And the lot owners here, they also own lot 91. That's where you should put your sign. I said, no, I wasn't instructed to do lot number 91. It was 90. So I come to find out this Mr. Seller, he's not dead. He's very much alive. And boy, I get a phone call and a little bit of an earful, and I just, hey, time out here. Let me share with you how this all went down, that I was duped into knowing that your wife supposedly was your wife that I was calling. He says, what's her email address? I gave it to him. What's her cell phone number? I gave it to him. He says, no, neither of those are my wife. You got the name right, but neither of them are my wife. Now, this isn't a very common first name. It's Aneta, Aneta. It's different than John, Fred, Sally. And so it wouldn't be something that you would commonly find as being a name that's on that deed. And so I thought, like I say, things were moving along. In talking with the husband, with the wife, true wife, standing next to him, we found out that obviously that there was fraud going on. I recommended that he call the Hurricane City Police Department, which is the right thing to do. And then what I did is I called our Washington County Board of Realtors and said, hey, we need to send out a fraud alert to the realtors. Let them know this lot, this name, this area, this phone number, etc., is not the owner. We've had to do that quite a bit, Michael, because these fraud things tend to come on over and over again, especially land. Land, really? Lots, acreage are the biggest culprit because these people are typically out of state. They're not local people putting up a tent on their 20 acres of land. They're using it as an investment. So this prey from these fraudulent people, they are looking into and researching deeds and titles and etc. for land and lot owners that do not live in the area. Happen to be where these real people live in Idaho. Mm-hmm. Come to find out, where this gal that I've been corresponding with, she lives in Montana. So there's not any sort of similarity there. There's some, but what was truly honest was absolutely dishonest. So we dodged a bullet. Hurricane City Police Department's been in contact with this gal in Montana. The Montana Police Department, where she's at, and I won't tell about town, is also reaching out to her, and hopefully they can make some sort of arrest and make sure that doesn't happen by her ever again or at all, and protects these lot owners from not having lost their property.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, you totally dodged a bullet on that.
Oh
one.
Yeah.
So I have many questions.
Sure.
Are you ready? So, are these generally just one-offs, or are there roving bands of house thieves, kind of like gypsies?
Mm-hmm.
Not that there's anything wrong with being a
No,
gypsy.
no.
Do not put a gypsy curse on it. But you know what I mean? They rove around and go, oh, here's a piece of property. You know, is this a one-off, or are there gangs and bands that do this
There's
stuff?
gangs and bands.
Oh,
So back 25 years ago here in St. George, we had a big-time open house issue. meaning that people would go to an open house, typically 4 people. 2 of them would walk around with the agent. The other 2, typically a husband and wife, would be scoping out the medicine cabinet or the guns or the knives or the jewelry and thinking, hey, we can just clear on in, and the agent doesn't know he's with this other couple showing him the house. So he gets or she gets distracted from that. The parties say, you know what, this just doesn't work for us, but thank you for letting us through. And then open house concludes, finishes up, agent goes home, seller comes home and says, honey, where's our pills? Where's our medications? I got to take my heart pills tonight. Or where's your diamond ring that you left when we, anyway, you kind of get the picture, Michael.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing happens with land. Again, they'll just shoot in the dark and hopefully something will stick. I've been offered from different companies and saying, hey, we want to buy your property. It will pay this much and this and this and this. And I look at the fine print and I'm like, okay, these guys are simply not legit. But there are a lot of fraudulent people that are out there. It's not just a one-off. Yeah. This gal will try it again. If she doesn't get caught, she will do it again. She's very good at it. I just happened to catch it and find it, and it could have been $90,000 out of my pocket potentially if I'd gone through this. Certainly, there's errors and omissions. Anyway, practicality, folks, is don't get caught up in this because it is real and it will ruin you. You will absolutely lose your property, and there's not thing one after a point where you can do anything about it. It's gone.
So are there any signs that I, as a property owner, can be aware of prior to this happening, before all of this goes into the works and some guy pounds on my door with a deed of trust telling me to get out in 24 hours?
Very good question. And in answering, okay, what can be done? I will say that these companies, although that they are out there and legit, they are after the fact companies. They have no idea that somebody's at the recorder's office right now trying to get Michael Mollenauer's property. They notify after the deal's done and money's changed hands and the deal's closed. And now these companies are like, oh, hey, gee, we need to let you know about this. Now, that can be helpful for the first 3 to 5 days. After about 5 days, Michael, it's a done deal. It's like these wiring instructions that we've had to go to, that because of internet and because of hacking, that we have to go back to old school for wiring instructions, because if it gets hacked with an account number that's now different than what the original buyer's or seller's account number is, it hits and hits and hits and hits until it's finally in Nigeria. And every time that it hits, it's from one person, another person, another person, another person, and they're taking a little bit off the top of that transaction, and then the balance is sent to Nigeria to who knows and for whatever what.
Wow. Probably that Nigerian prince.
Yes.
So prevalent on the internet.
Very well could be. Very well could be. Yes.
Oh, my God. Wouldn't title insurance cover me on this, though?
Oh, really?
Are we saving that for the next
Well, no,
segment?
this is great, because that is one of the questions that people have. I've got title insurance. No big deal. I'm covered. If there is anything that comes up, I'm going to sue the title company. I'm going to bring in my title insurance policy and say, hey, you pay the claim and get my property back.
Right.
Well, Michael, that's not always going to work. I'm not saying that this is a one size fits all, but there are circumstances where the title report will not do anything for you. And so there are some prohibitive ways of what you have to do on your own as a property owner in order to not lose the vesting ownership, deed, and title to that property.
So let's say that I'm sitting in my kitchen. I'm having a delightful breakfast. And my wife comes in with the mail and she goes, oh, what is this letter from some mortgage company? I open it up. It's a notice of foreclosure.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that would be a good sign there's something weird going on.
A little
here.
fishy going on. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely right. And first of all, that has to be a notice of default. It has to be advertised. But who looks in the newspaper anymore? Do we even have a newspaper anymore?
We have a newspaper?
Yeah,
Where's
exactly. And so rarely do you find really where those notices of default are filed. So they may be filed in the proper areas, or what the people can get away with as being, we've advertised this, we've posted it, now we can continue on for the next 3 months and then foreclose on the property. And again, the seller's like, or the homeowner's like, I have to what? Well, yeah, you don't know. Here's the new deed. It has my name on it and not you as the property owner.
So, we do most of our banking online. We've got, online bill pay. Everything's done online. And we have an account with the bank.
Mm-hmm.
And Linda takes care of all that. I'm guessing that if she goes on and she's trying to do the bill pay online, and for some reason she's mysteriously locked out of our account where we make that payment, and she comes into me and she goes, Michael, did you do something with the internet? I go, no, I haven't touched anything. That could be a sign if we're locked out of our accounts.
Yes.
Somebody may be fooling around on the back end and we don't even know about it.
Absolutely right. And that could be your checking account, your savings account. But let's talk about mortgages. So if you're with company A that you make your monthly payments to, and then company B sends you a letter and says, hey, we've bought the loan, send your payments here now. And here's a P.O. box number, and we're all that, and we're look forward to servicing you, and you may get a Christmas card from us, but likely not. Make sure you pay your bill on time, your mortgage on time. So what's supposed to happen, must have, folks, is if your loan has been sold to a company B, if you will, company A has to let you know that it's been sold to company B with all of the correspondence information of company B. And then company B also has to let you know that they've received your loan from company A. So they both have to talk to each other. If that doesn't happen by mail, it's not legit. And don't trust online that company A and company B are going to be corresponding, because guess what? They're both the same company. They just fraudulently look and cut and paste the logo and cut and paste this logo. And then again, people have nothing. They're just naive. And I won't say ignorant. They just don't know. They can't believe this is really happening. Yeah, in today's world, it is.
That's absolutely crazy. This is really important. Otherwise, we may wake up one morning and discover that we're living in a van down by the river.
Down by the river.
Because somebody's
exactly right.
stolen our house. Although the river's nice, but you know what I mean?
It is, sure.
This is important stuff.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of beautiful homes that are not by the river, in a van, I understand that you've got a really cool home to share with us today.
I do. I've got a great one here.
Is it in Sun River?
It is. It is Sun River. We've had it listed for about 4 or 5 days, folks, and this is a great house.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a 2-bedroom plus a den, 2 bathrooms. The owner, at my suggestion, did a significant amount of remodeling before we put it on the market. If you go to the next picture, it will show some of the interior that we have here. So we have a great room feel, which is like a large family room. All LVP flooring, brand new, 2 weeks old. All of the interior has been repainted 3 weeks ago. We've done a new kitchen faucet, a new sink. We've done handles on the cabinets. We've made things look different. The lighting is different. The look is different. The presence is different. This owner never occupied the house. She rented it out occasionally, but that was it. This is in a community, if you go to the next photo, this is in a community that is in a age-restricted community, meaning somebody has to be at least age 55 or older in order to be able to qualify there. So you don't have Hawaiian punch stains on the floor. You don't have holes in the wall from anger management issues. This is something that's just really well taken care of in a community that has no common walls between you and your neighbor. There is a section that does, but we're wanting to talk about just the basics, or the large part of Sun River that is the majority of the housing. So we got the kitchen, we got large dining area here with a bay window. The HOA takes care of the front yard. You maintain your own backyard. You can do artificial grass. You can do rock. You can do regular grass. Whatever you want to do, you can do so. If you go to the next photo, master bathroom here has a tub and separate shower, 2 vanities. Again, very nice look, all clean, looking spotless. And then we can go on to the next one. Covered patio back here. She decided to do just a desert scape, or what they call a xeriscape. So they have some bubblers with some drips for these desert plants, which don't require a whole lot of water. And so people can come and go. part-time, sometime, full-time, no time, and the yard basically looks the same. So that's really great. Now here's one of the big bonuses, Michael.
Yes.
At Sun River, we go to the next slide. This has some absolutely phenomenal, fantastic, first-class amenities. They've got a magnificent clubhouse. They've got fitness center. They've got yoga classes and other areas that teach other classes. Indoor pool, outdoor pool, pickleball courts, tennis courts, huge ballroom. It's just massive. You like, why would they build that here in St. George? Well, because nobody else did. And so it gets used quite often by both the Sun River residents as well as people from outside the community. There's lawn bowling. There's the sports court. There's just so many things to offer there at Sun River. Anytime that I work with somebody that wants to buy in Sun River, I said, you know what? If you get lazy and lonely and there's nothing to do, it's your own fault, because it's not Sun River's fault. They are pouring a bunch of things that are opportunities for you. If you don't latch on to that, well, yeah, it's your own fault. Billiard room, computer room, reading room, library, the list goes on and on. It's $178 a month, Michael.
Oh, my gosh.
For all of those.
That's cheaper than cable.
All of those. Yeah, it really is. It has its own restaurant, but you go as a patron. You don't get special deals at the restaurant. There's got a magnificent 18-hole golf course. They give you a little bit of a discount there if you're living in Sun River. I could go play it and pay a little bit more, and okay, I'll do that. But yeah, they discount just a little bit on the green fees.
Now this pool is in the clubhouse.
It is in the clubhouse, yes.
That looks a lot like the one I have in my living room.
It's really close.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, I think it was off just a couple, 3 feet, maybe.
Yeah, pretty close.
Or something like that.
This is nice, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go to the last slide on this. Here's the golf course. A very, very well-designed golf course. It has some nice, forgiving areas. It's not such a target practice course that if you hit it 151 instead of 150, your ball is toast and you're hitting double bogey. It's just one of those that are very nice, but very easy to play, and still has a great challenge to it as well.
Wow.
Now the price on this,
beautiful.
This is the what's the how much does it cost me, Bob? Okay, so we're asking $498,950, so just south of $500,000. 1,591 square feet, 2-car garage, 2 bedrooms and a den, like I mentioned at the very beginning. We put in a new barn door where the den office is, so you can kind of enclose that off right off the entry, so you're not just looking in, hey, Harold, what you doing? It has some enclosure there. Folks, I can talk a lot about this. You got to come take a look at it.
It's a beautiful home. Is that a 2 or a 3-car garage?
It is a 2-car garage, yes.
Oh, that's good. That way I won't have to park my van down by
that's
the
right.
river.
Exactly. Oh, you're great.
Oh, hey, so Bob, if somebody's interested in taking a look at this house, how can they get a hold of you?
435-703-UTAH. That is 435-703-8824. I'm a realtor at Berkshire Hathaway, Utah Properties in downtown St. George in Ancestor Square. We're right by the pizza factory that's been around for 50 years, and also the Painted Pony restaurant. So very easy to be found both at my office, but also my cell phone again, 435-703-UTAH.
I know you have a website, too. Tell me. Let me guess. Is it buyutah.com?
It actually is, yes.
Wow.
And those still using toll-free numbers, 1-800-BUY-UTAH. Same guy you get.
Cool. Well, Bob, thank you so much for being here today. We are going to do part 2 of this podcast because I want to find out ways that I can protect my property from it being stolen. So you guys be sure and tune into part 2 of this podcast. Until then, we'll see you again next time on another exciting edition of Let's Get Real. See you, Bob.
Thanks, Michael.
This has been Let's Get Real with Bob Richards from Bob Richards & Associates. For more information, buyutah.com. We invite you to return again for another edition of Let's Get Real with Bob Richards from Bob Richards & Associates.